Every week we have Secret Teacher. We started this a few weeks ago. And we started it at the beginning of the autumn term in September, when I thought, well, we all know what it's like to be a kid when you start school and start big school, and it's all scary. Everyone's taller than you and everyone's got deeper voices than you. Not if you're a girl, but and the boys. Although, at my school. And we just thought, well, we know what it's like to be a kid, but as a teacher, it must be the most terrifying thing ever. As a newly qualified teacher, and I know loads of you listen to this show every day after you finish school, maybe doing a bit of marking, or you just done an extracurricular activity, and we salute you for that. It's all about the well-rounded education, guys. It's not just about exams these days. So we know that it must be awful if you're 21, 22, and the kids, the sixth formers, aren't that much younger than you, and maybe a lot of them are taller than you as well. So we got hold of a teacher who will remain anonymous, or as anonymous as possible, because, quite frankly, no one else like this person exists ever. He's like the worst teacher ever. But over the last few weeks, we've learnt to understand how teachers think and feel and why they do what they do. Because they are, believe it or not, humans as well. Not just aliens. My mum and dad were teachers. Retired now, they do nothing, just drink wine. But now, they were teachers. We wanted to try and get into the psyche of what these people do. So last week, it was all about a boy from the class who managed to discover the sex education software on the school computer during a lesson on global warming.
Turns out he'd accidentally found the sex education software, had crashed the computer and promptly frozen the screen.
So as a punishment...
Now, I could have decided to let this mishap lie, encourage a swift reboot of the PC and let everyone carry on with the task in hand. But due to the inquisitive nature of this pupil, I decided to treat the entire class to an impromptu sex education pop quiz instead.
Yay! Oh no. Embarrassing and awful. That was last week. We'll find out after Ed Sheeran what happens next. On Secret Teacher, it's week 8 and it's coming next after Give Me Love. Hello to George, who's sat in traffic lights in Notts at the moment. And George, I'm going to say he or she says, Greg, I hate the music that is on Secret Teacher. Please, can you change it? I don't know, Headmistress Laura, what do you reckon? All feedback is taken into consideration.
Yeah.
This is the BBC, fair policy and all that.
Thanks for your feedback.
This is the. By the way, George, these are not my words. The words of Headmistress Laura, the producer of this fine ship.
George, thank you for your feedback, but at this late stage, 8 or 9 weeks into the feature, we're going to leave it as it is. But thank you, and have a nice day.
I think you sounded a bit sharp with him there.
George, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Love you.
But shove off. This is the music. Molly from Keighley says, my mum's a teacher and I still think that all teachers live in cupboards in the school, and I'm in year 10. I know, that's the thing. I could never, because I never saw my mum and dad teaching. Thank God they weren't at the school I was at, but I never saw them teaching. I just thought, well, they're not really, are they? They're normal people too. Let's get on with week 8 of Secret Teacher.
So we're 1 week in after half term, and I'm looking forward to Christmas already. There seems to be meetings left, right and centre, and most days I'm finishing about 9 p.m.
9 p.m, that's late. That is really late. If you're listening to me now and you've just got back from school, I want you to take a moment. I want you to take 2 seconds of silence. Here we go. Just to think about the extra hard work that your teachers do on a daily basis. As soon as that bell rings, you're out the door. They are not. Some of them are. Some of the bad ones are.
I was not amused when I got called lazy by a year 11 for not marking the class's tests overnight. Kids don't seem to realise that I teach 350 students and have to plan 25 lessons a week. So I gave them detention. I'm not going to lie, it felt good.
Do you think some teachers find lessons boring like kids do? There must be bits in the syllabus that they find really boring.
There was one student in my year 8 class. Let's call her Susie. Susie came to my lesson today and after 5 minutes had her hand up looking distressed. She informed me that she'd bitten her tongue. I was confused as to how exactly she'd injured herself sitting down, but checked she was okay and carried on with the lesson. 10 minutes later, Susie arrived at my desk and was wiping blood from her book. It would appear she had acquired a quite impressive paper cut. I sent her straight to the medical centre. How can one child be so accident-prone?
There is always one kid. There's always one kid who gets smacked in the face with a football in the playground. There's always one kid that slips over in science on a gauze or something. There's always one kid who's just sick everywhere. And there's always the caretaker comes around with sawdust. The sawdust kid. There's always one. Always.
There's a new favourite game amongst staff, which involves sending students to another classroom to ask for things that don't exist. One teacher sent a child to get some tartan paint, and another sent a child to ask for a long wait from another teacher, and was told to stand there for 10 minutes before being sent back, empty-handed.
If I was a teacher, this is what I would do. I would mess with the kids, and that's probably why it's a good idea that I'm not. I'd be doing pranks all over the place. This is it. The whole one of the inspirations behind this secret teacher thing was we found out last summer during exam time that teachers would play games with the other teachers during exams. So they'd walk around and they would, for example, we don't condone this, they would go and stand by the ugly kids and they just stand and sort of mark them out. So Mr. Oxley, real teacher, amazing teacher by the way, history, Mr. Oxley would be standing by Graham, ugly kid, at the back, and then he'd be waving to the guys at the front, the invigilators at the front, going, this one here, Minga, this one. Again, I don't condone that behaviour.
The head of year also told students that the hydrogen oxide they were using in the lab would make you impotent if you spilt it. Hydrogen oxide is water. Brilliant.
There you go.
Rule 11. Kids believe everything you say because you are a teacher. Fools.
She's the worst teacher ever. Blaine on Twitter says, I'm pretty sure, Greg, that secret teacher works at my school.
P.S. Last lesson today, Susie went past my room smiling and holding up a bandaged arm. Turns out she tripped over her own feet. Bless her.
My God, she does sound like the worst. Blaine, if she does work at your school, ask for a transfer. Ask your parents nicely. And I'm pleased that you all enjoyed Secret Teacher today, except Jennifer in Liverpool didn't. She's a teacher and she says, Greg, stop telling the nation our secrets, you're ruining us. That's the idea. Taking them down from the inside. Hattie in Leeds. I used to watch my teachers play a walking version of tag after I'd finished my exams. At the time, you don't realise they're up to it. They are up to all sorts of mischief during those exams. But of course you would be. They're only humans. And exams are boring. 3 hours. English lit exams, some of them are 3.5 hours. Longer if you've got extra time. If you're dyslexic, maybe. You're in there for a long, long time. Uh-oh. And she's made a mistake as well, the secret teacher. Apparently, what did she say? She said that water was hydrogen... what was this one here? Let's listen.
Rule 11. Kids believe...
No, that's the wrong one. Shut up. It's this one here. Here we go.
The head of year also told students that the hydrogen oxide they were using in the lab would make you impotent if you spilt it. Hydrogen oxide is water. Brilliant.
No, hydrogen dioxide, a lot of people have said. And she doesn't even know that either. She's the worst. And I'm sorry, there's a confusion over the science thing from the hydrogen oxide secret teacher bit.
The head of year also told students that the hydrogen oxide they were using in the lab would make you impotent if you spilt it. Hydrogen oxide is water. Brilliant.
Sure. Now, someone texted in, a few people texted in going, hydrogen oxide is not water. But just to clear it up, I mean, Headmistress Laura, are you a real headmistress?
No,
Oh,
I'm
so you
not.
don't care about this. But I care about the future of this nation, and I don't want the school children to be ill-informed, okay? So hydrogen oxide is water, but so is dihydrogen monoxide and hydric acid. And I'm just looking at Wikipedia. But there's a guy here who's gone, this is Kieran from Reading. I don't know if he's a scientist. Says, Greg, secret teacher was correct. H2O means there are 2 hydrogen atoms, okay, and 1 oxygen atom.
I'm losing the will to live.
No, listen, Mr. Howes, my old science teacher, will be very proud of me.
Right.
So he's right. So H2O, it is
Oh my God,
Listen.
No. You're still talking.
No. Hydrogen.
This is so boring.
No.
We get it. It's water. It's got hydrogen in it.
Hydrogen.
We just play a nice song.
Yeah, let's play a nice song. So it's dihydrogen.
Oh my God! Stop talking!
No! Dihydrogen oxide. That's where she went wrong. There's 2 hydrogen atoms.
I'm glad we've settled that.
Dihydrogen oxide.
Good.
Right. Amen. Okay, guys. There's the science bit done with. Don't worry, everyone. If you're bored, Newsbeat's on soon. Oh. Okay. Grant on his way to work says, Greg, I know you're from Bishop Stortford in Hertfordshire when you were growing up. You should know that H2O is actually the name of the premier nightclub there. I know, H2Os. That was the place that I went to when I was 18 and not younger. Please stop treating science as hard and boring. For crying out loud, you're talking about water. It makes me so sad that Radio 1 portrays science like this. I don't at all. It's actually fascinating. When I was at school, I wished that I could just get it more. I wasn't at all. We were just getting bogged down in a pretty lengthy, dull discussion, and that is what I was having a go at. Nothing else. I'm all for science. In fact, Days says, will you come and teach us science? I never understand it. I would love to. Absolutely. I would prep that lesson so well. It would be the best lesson you ever got, really. And Gar in Swansea says, Greg, are you drunk? No, I don't think so. Well, I will sober up in the next 15 minutes during Newsbeat, and it's Chris Smith with Newsbeat.